Stop whatever you're doing because what I'm about to tell you isn't just a scandal. It's the scandal of the decade. The internet is ablaze with gossip blogs, and people are talking about Chrissy Lampkin all the time. Yes, that Chrissy who built her brand on drama, diamonds, and Dipset loyalty is Chrissy has reportedly been caught lying under oath about her alleged explosive affair with Camron. You heard me right, the Dips at dawn, Jim Jones's closest friend turned forbidden flame. How did we get here? Was it passion, betrayal, or sheer recklessness? We are currently facing the harsh reality of a courtroom verdict. Chrissy truly thought she could outsmart the courts, just as she did with the cast of Love and Hip Hop. The betrayal goes deeper than anyone could have predicted. Shattering friendships, families, and allegedly endless receipts. Jim Jones's response will leave you stunned, making you believe you've witnessed drama. The world has been waiting for this expose, so don't worry, it's going to get even uglier. As they say, when you play dirty games, expect a dirty prize. And for Chrissy Lampkin, that prize looks a lot like a cold steel jail cell. The courtroom doors slammed shut behind her. But it wasn't the echo of the gavel that Chrissy Lampkin, a woman who once strutted across reality TV screens as if she owned the entire network, was now front and center in a scandal so messy and jaw-dropping that even seasoned court reporters were blinking twice. At the center of it all is betrayal and a name. The story's sheer audacity had everyone frozen. That has plagued the Dipset legacy for years. For months, rumors swirled about whether Chrissy and Camron were more than just friends or if their hazy relationship had devolved into outright treachery. The internet was generating theories more quickly than Chrissy could upload selfies. But as of right now, until she spoke in court based on explosive testimony and leaked court documents, which, incidentally, were slipped to some bloggers anonymously, was all just messy rumor mill bullshit. Chrissy Lampkin stood before a judge and swore under oath that she had no inappropriate relationship with Camron, vowed to be nothing more than a faithful fiancé of Jim Jones, a woman unfairly singled out by haters and envious opportunists. However, the problem with lying under oath is that it's not only bad PR, it's perjury. And perjury is a first-class ticket to prison, explained the moment the prosecution revealed the shocking evidence. A shaky, grainy, but unmistakably damning alleged private video that showed Chrissy and Camron way too cozy at a supposedly business meeting. By cozy, we don't mean side hugs and courteous conversation, but rather full-on lip locks, private booths, and whispered conversations that had nothing to do with business. Deal in history has ever required the jury to gasp. Jim Jones, who was sitting in the back of the courtroom, reportedly hung his head in his hands. Chrissy, on the other hand, stared straight ahead with her jaw locked so tightly that it could cut glass. That wasn't bad enough. Open court messages containing familiar text messages between Chrissy and Camron were read aloud. Let's face it, Chrissy has never exactly been the epitome of subtlety. Long before this scandal erupted, she built a reality TV career on drama and confrontation. With flirtations, secret meet plans, and conversations about keeping it between us. If you listened closely, you probably heard the collective gasp of Dipset fans across the nation. And heartbreaking outbursts recall the notorious punch she delivered to Camilla on Love and Hip Hop, or the numerous instances in which she insisted Jim put a ring on it while she sobbed and screamed in front of large crowds. Chrissy wasn't just interested in drama. She was the drama. And it appears that same desire for mayhem has got her into trouble with the law. But wait till it gets worse. If you thought Chrissy's perjury charges were shocking enough, you haven't heard the rumors about what initially caused her to lie. Anonymous insiders, of course, keep saying that Chrissy wasn't just protecting herself. No, she was allegedly attempting to conceal a much more serious and egregious secret involving Camron, Jim Jones, and some dubious business dealings. Chrissy reportedly feared that if her private relationship with Camron were revealed, It would cause a whole series of financial entanglements between the she believed that lying under oath was about saving everything, not just her face. Of course, the court doesn't care about your motivations, but when you lie under oath, you're done. And Chrissy Lampkin's currently in hot water. The Dipset crew was laundering money, off-the-books investments, and secret side hustles that nobody wanted the feds sniffing around. As if things couldn't get any more embarrassing. Screenshots of courtroom sketches of Chrissy looking pale stiff and visibly shaken went viral on social media within minutes. Chrissy's new meme captions, which ranged from hip-hop and love to lies and lockup, quickly became the internet's favorite. According to those same buzzing insiders, Jim Jones is devastated, humiliated, and allegedly planning his next move. Meanwhile, the hit show Courtroom confessions flooded Instagram and Twitter. While Camron Radio remained silent and made no statements or even a half-hearted Instagram post, acting as though he was too fortunate to be stressed. When public humiliation knocks on your mansion door, loyalty bosses only go so far. By the end of the first day of court, it was evident that Chrissy Lampkin wasn't merely battling a PR nightmare. Rather, she was fighting for her freedom. And if the prosecution's evidence continued to mount as it did during opening arguments, she wouldn't simply losing in court would mean that she would lose everything she had worked so hard to obtain over the years. But what happened next would turn this story from scandalous to completely disastrous, because the prosecution had one more trick up their sleeve. Witness that no one had anticipated, and when that person took the stand, everything. The tension in the courtroom was so high that you could cut it with a knife. All of the journalists, bloggers, and courtroom spectators were leaning forward with their eyes wide and their phones tightly gripped, ready to fire off the next viral headline, and then the doors were slammed shut, opened to reveal the mystery. Witness: a figure appeared, composed and calm, with what looked to be a thick folder of documents under one arm. Immediately, conversations began to reverberate off the walls, asking who it might be: a former assistant, a betrayed confidant, or an old friend. No one knew the answer, so the judge ordered the figure to move. The courtroom held its breath as they took off their sunglasses and revealed a former Dipset tour manager, whom we'll call Mr. X for legal reasons. Mr. X had actual receipts, emails, wire transfers, handwritten notes, and even transcripts of alleged late-night phone calls. According to Mr. X, Chrissy and Camron's business meetings had allegedly been going on for years rather than months. And we paid for them. Mr. X stated bluntly, in a matter-of-fact manner, that entire trips were covered as Dipset promo runs. Hotel bills were paid under fictitious company names, drivers were paid to keep quiet, and venues were rented under shell companies so they could meet in private. Bloggers were unable to type quickly enough in the courtroom, and the icing on the cake, according to Mr. X, was that Jim Jones had no idea what was going on beneath his nose as the testimony continued. He was allegedly so focused on maintaining the Dipset brand that he was unaware of what was going on. Evidence surfaced that showed Camron and Chrissy boarding private jets together, checking into hotels hours apart, and departing together in the morning. One photo even purportedly showed Camron giving Chrissy what looked to be a diamond necklace outside of a no-closed. The hashtags Josh Chrissy Lies, Josh Dipset Scandal, and Camron Gate went viral on the internet, and memes appeared on all platforms for days. One particularly popular image featured Chrissy's courtroom sketch next to the Mona Lisa, both of them wearing the same deadpan stare, with the caption, "When you realize lying under oath wasn't worth it." YouTube drama channels garnered millions of views and hours with headlines like, "The Untold Truth About Chrissy and Camron's Affair," and "Jim Jones Blindsided by Dipset Betrayal." Fake TikTok lawyers started researching the case, and some fans fiercely supported Chrissy with unwavering allegiance. "I don't think this for a second. Camron must be clout chasing," the account stated. "Chrissy has always held Jim down. People weren't as kind, and we've been new." Chrissy was messy, and she remained messy on Love and Hip Hop. This isn't new. Even celebs started commenting on fictitious tweets from other Love and Hip Erica Mena. Amer hip-hop artist, read the streets always talk. And let me just say that I'm not at all surprised. Keep an eye out because the turmoil wasn't just on social media. Courtroom documents that were leaked to specific websites revealed a troubling financial picture, reportedly showing that Chrissy had borrowed a lot of money. Amounts of money from Dipset affiliates under false pretenses. According to one entry, she asked for $250,000 for a home remodeling project, but instead used the funds to pay a private investigator hush money because he was threatening to expose her and Camron. If this is accurate, it would not only be fraud, but as day after day went by in court, Chrissy remained composed, her famous poker face hardly cracking, but behind the scenes, sources claim that panic had fully set in and that her team was in a downward spiral due to racketeering, a charge that had already sparked rumors of a possible RICO investigation, according to unconfirmed reports. Jim Jones packed up and left their shared New Jersey home just hours after the video evidence was played in court. An insider told an entertainment blog that they are allegedly pleading with Camron to release a statement clearing her name. But Camron is refusing to get involved and is ghosting everyone. Jim looks as the courtroom spectacle continued into its second week. Even mainstream news outlets that typically ignored reality TV scandals couldn't help but run a headline from hip-hop royalty to legal ruin. I'm not angry, not loud, just numb. Like the betrayal finally broke him, another alleged insider told the same blog. One concern remained, though. What would Camron say? Would he testify? Would he break his silence? Then came the even harsher downfall of Chrissy Lampkin gossip publications, where a tabloid cover featured Chrissy's face with the cruel tagline, "Lies, Love, and Lockup." On day 7, Chrissy's legal team called Camron as a surprise witness. Although cameras were not permitted inside, word quickly spread that Camron had arrived at the courthouse with security on either side of him and a hoodie pulled low over his face. This was the moment that sent shockwaves through the already chaotic courtroom. After that, no one was prepared, and as Camron took the stand, the lawyer asked a crucial question. "Mr. Giles, did you have an inappropriate relationship with Ms. Lampkin?" The room fell silent, and you could hear the courtroom clock ticking away as Camron leaned. The smirk was the same one that Dipset fans knew all too well. Underscore replied, "Define inappropriate chaos. Absolute unfiltered chaos," after speaking into the microphone. As the judge slammed the gavel and demanded, "Order," Camron's answer or non-answer sent the internet into complete meltdown mode. The crowd erupted in whispers and gasps. The headline that went viral said, "The damage was done." The prosecution jumped in after Chrissy Lampkin's defense failed and her credibility vanished, setting the stage for the most terrible day yet, sentencing. The question now wasn't whether Chrissy Lampkin would be. You could practically hear the internet's collective gasp as the judge got ready to make the announcement that everyone had been waiting for. Convicted, it was how bad it was going to get. The courthouse was a war zone, and reporters crowded the entrance. Fans with cell phones pressed against the barricades, hoping to catch even a blurry shot of Chrissy Lampkin. Music sentenced Chrissy sat motionless and silent in the courtroom with her attorneys by her side. Her face was devoid of the glitzy defiance she once wore as a designer accessory, and Jim Jones was nowhere to be seen. As usual, Camron vanished into the New York night without saying anything more, the judge explained. Insiders described the courtroom as being so quiet that you could hear the reporters' pens scratching frantically on notepads. The judge said, "You have been found guilty of perjury and obstruction of justice for knowingly providing false information. Testimony under oath about your relationship with Mr. Camron Giles, K., also known as Camron. The evidence was overwhelming." And Chrissy's attorneys pleaded for forgiveness, pointing to her history of charity activity, including a well-known but potentially fraudulent foundation for hip-hop women and her mental suffering. You're about to learn that the justice system doesn't operate on scripted drama. The judge added, referring to the business people and, of course, her devoted reality TV fan base. You've flaunted your influence and treated this courtroom like just another reality show set. It's drama, the sentence 12 months behind bars, 5 years probation. And mandatory community service. The courtroom exploded. One spectator shouted, "Not my queen." The phrase "I went nuclear" Chrissy went viral when someone else was heard saying that she had received what was due to her. Even late-night comedians joined the trend. With an imaginary clip of a talk show host delivering the punchline, Chrissy always. One particularly savage post featured Chrissy in an orange jumpsuit photoshopped onto the Love and Hip Hop logo, which has since been renamed Lies and Lockup. The Chrissy Chronicles wanted Jim to put a ring on it, but guess what? The court just gave her an ankle bracelet instead. What's worse though, within 24 hours of the ECE sentencing, there were rumors that VH1 had approved a special 2-part documentary series that would follow Chrissy's legal decline. The tentative title of the series is From Fans of the Alleged Project Diamonds to Defendants. The Chrissy Lampkin story were split. Some denounced it as a federal conspiracy, arguing that Chrissy was singled out due to her ties to influential people. The project promised exclusive footage, jailhouse interviews, and shocking revelations that the court couldn't even touch. Hip-hop figures, "This is bigger than Chrissy," a fan asserted on Twitter, claiming that Dipset was taken down during this time, according to a widely shared Instagram remark beneath a video of Chrissy sobbing in court. Others weren't so sympathetic. Chrissy played with fire and got burned. The consequences weren't just for Chrissy. Insiders claimed that Jim Jones had disappeared, turning off his phone and disappearing from all social media sites. His final post, which featured the cryptic black screen with the words, "Sometimes silence says it all," became the new obsession on the internet. Speculation erupted about whether he had permanently left Chrissy or if he was planning to file a lawsuit. In order to punish her for public humiliation, he was covertly in negotiations with Netflix for his own documentary, Jim Jones: The Betrayal Diaries. As usual, Camron stayed mute, but a week after the sentencing, he casually shared a picture of himself at a Knicks game with the remark, "The disrespect and audacity are still winning," and the internet loved it. Anonymous sources stated that Chrissy was preparing to file an appeal, claiming that celebrity bias had unjustly influenced her trial. But the court of public opinion had already spoken, even as her team rushed to repair the damage. It's the only bias. Here, according to phony legal analysts on YouTube, is Chrissy's belief that she could outsmart a judge by manipulating reality show producers? In a bizarre turn of events, a tell-all book deal tentatively titled The Price of Fame, My Side Of. The story was allegedly leaked by Chrissy Lampkin industry insiders. Wondered if it would be a sincere confession or just another attempt to change the past. And then, just when you thought it was over, there were whispers from an imaginary source that federal investigators were surreptitiously looking into the alleged financial misconduct linked to the entire scandal. Her sentence might be just the beginning. The tabloid headlines cried out. The Dipet family, once known for their close bond and flamboyant brotherhood, was now publicly fractured. Camron silent. Jim Jones absent. Chrissy imprisoned, and the fans. If she believed this was the end of the investigation, a lot of money moved around in strange ways. When the dust settled and Chrissy was led out of the courtroom in handcuffs with designer sunglasses and a defiant expression on her face, the public realized that this wasn't the end, but rather the start of a scandal that they couldn't stop. Binge-watching like the last season of the messiest show they never asked for would be analyzed, discussed, and argued for years. In your opinion, did Chrissy Lampkin deserve to be punished for lying about her alleged affair with Camron? Was this just another instance of celebrity conceit colliding with harsh reality? Or was it, as some assume, A planned hit job intended to destroy the Dipset empire forever? I would like to know if justice was done. If Jim Jones was the ultimate victim in this outrageous betrayal. If Chrissy will return with a redemption story, or if her time in the spotlight is officially over. Please share your theories and the most outrageous conspiracy theories in the comments section below so that we can start a lively discussion. If you believe this to be the most outrageous, the 2025 Boss plot twist is just getting started. Trust me when I say that you should. Hit the like button, share this video with your fellow Scandal fans, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button and enable notifications. You won't want to miss anything we have planned for the future. From shocking betrayals to courtroom scenes, meltdowns. This channel gives you front row access to the messiest, most shocking, and occasionally unfathomable controversies the internet has ever witnessed. Until the next time, prepare your popcorn. The drama never stops, never stops.